Alright guys, Rich here from the RCNetwork, and I think my Axial SCX10 is complete. Now, I've been planning to do a full wrap-up video of my SCX10, both the 1.9 version and also the 2.2 version, for quite some time, but I kept adding things and deleting things and editing things, and I wanted to get it almost perfect so I can then pass all of this information on to you guys so that you can make the choice on what you want to do with your SCX10. Now, there's lots of parts, and I can't even tell you how many parts went into this build, and a lot of it was my own trial and error, trying to figure out kind of which route I wanted to go with my SCX10. Initially, I built up a 1.9 version, and I was really happy with it. And then I started thinking, maybe I can go bigger. And that's when I decided to do the Proline version, the 2.2 version, and really kind of deck it all out and kind of animate it somewhat, and kind of went away from the scale version that I had on the 1.9 Trail Honcho version. So this video will be quite long, and to be honest with you, I don't look forward to putting all those links in the video description that you will see here right below. Expand that little box that says show me more, I believe, and there's going to be list after list after list of links built in there for you guys, for my subscribers, so you guys can see directly where I got these parts from, and it gets you the exact little item. Now, I haven't done videos on every item I've added to these, and I've had lots of questions on little particular bits and pieces that I put on this. So hopefully this video will clear up all those questions, and you guys should hopefully get a little bit out of this video. So I don't look forward to adding all those links, but hey, I'm doing it for you guys. So I'm going to grab the camera so we can go in a little bit closer so you can see up close and personal on all the parts that I added to my SCX10. Now, the best part for me is I look forward to running this thing, being that it's almost brand new still. So let me grab the camera and let's go in deep. Alright, we're back now, and I have grabbed the camera and I kind of set out all of the 1.9 parts that I pulled off of my SCX10 to build up the 2.2 version. Now, this is just a stock RTR Trail Honcho body that I've kind of deleted some of the stickers. If you remember, there was a big huge one right here, some on the bottom, and put some of my own flavors on there, some of my favorite brands, of course, MIP, Savox, Tekin, Proline. You'll notice I added the Vanquish 5-inch light bar, mounted very easily. There's a separate video on that, and I'll probably be saying that a lot throughout this video, but I definitely refer to the playlist that I've created for the SCX10. Now you'll notice I added these little brackets here. This is just to try and preserve the light bar as much as possible. I mean, the light bar is just a work of art. I really love that light bar and want to keep it looking as good as possible for as long as possible. So as far as the rest of it, I deleted the stock kind of pan that was on there and put this little metal sheet there, just from a local hardware store, just some aluminum sheet metal. And other than that, it's pretty stock body. On the underside, I have the wiring right there for the Vanquish bar onto a JST plug. All is good. So as far as the bumper, I went with the RC4WD Drive. This is the Tough Armor bumper, and it does have those King Kong toe shackles mounted up to it. The toe shackles were a little bit tight when I originally installed them, but they seem to have loosened up over time. They do get beat up a little bit right there, as you can see, just from the approach angle and hitting rocks and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Sometimes I kind of keep them up like this when I'm out kind of driving around, just to maybe preserve their life a little bit too. The cool thing about this is it mounts directly to the chassis and is definitely solid. It's a great handle for your SCX10 that I've noticed. So it does have mounting points right there for a winch if you decide to put a winch on. As far as the wheel choice on my 1.9s, I went with the RC4WD Drive Dick Cepec. These are the 7 series wheels, and they are 1.9s. They're all aluminum, and they're an internal beadlock, so you don't see the beadlock on the outside, but definitely on the inside you'll see the beadlock ring. And it basically is just a kind of thing where it traps the front beadlock in by just the way the wheel was designed. It does have some pretty cool caps that I don't have on there right now, and the only downfall to the caps is you have to take 5 screws off to remove your wheel. So anyways, those are mounted up to some Pitbull Rock Beast tires. These are the 1.9s as well. Really dig these tires. They have lots of traction, 2-stage foam built inside, so definitely some great traction when you're up on the rocks. That's it for the 1.9 version that I've taken off of my SCX10. Let's go on to the 2.2 version. And we're back now with the 2.2 version, and hopefully you guys have seen some of the other videos, but this is a 1973 Ford Bronco shell from Proline Racing. And a great shell. I really dig some of the scale features of it, although it does appear to be slightly lengthened to fit the 12.3 wheelbase of the Trail Honcho. So keep that in mind. It definitely has the scale looks, but it kind of is almost like a suburban length. So as far as the other outside accessories, let's go over those really quick. These are the Proline RidgeLine bumpers. They come with the little toe shackles right there. That is an all plastic bumper. Kind of has the lead right there for a winch. It is all cosmetic, of course. These are the stock lights, and they do have mounting points to mount those stock lights straight up to the front bumper, which was cool. And it does kind of look out like almost it was intended to. So Proline bumpers, those are called the RidgeLine. You'll also see the rear here, also with the toe shackles. Now, one thing that is really cool on the Proline bumpers is it does have adjustable height to where you can mount it at 3 different angles, and hopefully I can get the front one here. But we're going to have to take off the shell so you guys can see that. I'll point that out here in just a couple seconds. Roof rack, Proline, once again, it is the large one, and it does have this kind of wind guard right here. It is about 6 inches in length. Lots of scale accessories. Those are also Proline as well. I think I have a mixture of maybe 3 to 4 of their scale accessories up there. This is some tow rope from RPP, I believe I got that from, and just kind of made it look like some bungee cord up there, kind of matched the car as well. The I Like It Dirty sticker, got that from RPP, and also the Yakima from RPP. They also sell a Thule if you happen to be a Thule fan. Let's take off the shell here, and we'll get into some of the fun stuff. What's under the hood? So on the 2.2 version, I decided to go with the flat irons from Proline. They do have the memory foam inside, and they're definitely one of the shorter 2.2 versions, so my truck didn't look too out of place. They're mounted up to some Titus beadlocks from Proline. They do have the nice metal ring, and very nice wheel to put together. It was very easy to put these together. Was really happy with those. And once again, they are a one-sided beadlock, so the inside does not show any of the actual locking mechanism. The holes are set all the way around. I believe there's 12 screws, but there's 24 holes, so if you happen to strip one out, you can just move it one way to the left or right and re-screw. Very nice wheel so far. As far as, let's go on to start at the front. JR right there, that is a Jevne Racing battery plate. This one's called the Brick. It does have this kind of bent up flap here. This one will not fit a standard 2S hardcase Lipo, so keep that in mind. I do have my battery kind of mounted differently. I'm running a Black Series 2200 milliamp 3S Lipo. This is an 11.1 volt, 40C discharge rate. Made it up to some Dean plugs right there. And then I have this huge box right here. This is from Radio Shack, and this is just a little electronics box that I picked up. It was like $3 or $4, and I have all my electronics mounted in there, minus the ESC to keep it cool. I do plan on doing a full waterproofing video here soon, so hopefully that will benefit both you and I. And as far as those Proline bumpers, there's the 3 mounting system. Hopefully I can focus in on there. To where you can mount it on 3 different points, either raising it or lowering it, and I have it at the very highest mounting point right now. As far as some of the other parts right here, you're looking at some Vanquish shock coops, both front and rear. This is a Level 3 racing lift kit, and the cool thing about this is there's so many mounting options. Eventually I won't have to actually remove the mounting kit or the leveling kit to put the 1.9s back on. Down here we got some Proline scalar shocks. These are meant for the SCX10. They bolted right up. There was no mods that I had to do to that. Very nice shocks. They come with the dual stage and also a single stage spring in the box. You do have to fill them with oil, but they come fully assembled, which is always a nice feature. As far as the front of it, and we're going to get into some nice fun stuff here, running the Savox 1283 SG steel-geared servo. This thing's putting out like 400 ounces of torque, and it's fairly quick. So I believe it was 0.13 seconds. That is the official hard anodized axial Futaba splined clamping. That's a lot of words right there. Servo horn. That thing was like 15 bucks. Very nice added feature, especially with this Savox servo putting out like 400 ounces. This is a Vanquish titanium Currie axle only, pardon that portion of it, steering and tie link. And then we also do have the blue anodized stage 1 kit. So those are the 8-degree C-hubs, steering knuckles, and the lockouts that you'll see here in just a couple minutes. I did have to do some modification to get those to fit, and there's a separate video on that as well. You'll see that there's some very thick Traxxas hexes in there, and that's to get the wheel off space so that my steering linkage and tie rod link does not hit the tire, which it barely clears it. Alright, next thing, we have some Tekin electronics. We have the FXR. I decided not to go with the FXR Pro only because one of my first crawlers with the FXR, and I thought this was good enough. 45 turn Pro motor. Very nice motor. I love this thing. It definitely has lots of torque. I did have to gear it up slightly with a 80-tooth spur gear. Now I am running the MIP splined CVDs. Very nice option with these things, especially with the amount of torque that the 45 turn is porting out. Now this is the question right here. What is this thing? This is something called an E-Tap from E-Power. Small little company, and they're basically putting a Dean's plug that has a little splice right here that goes out to a JST. Now that thing is good to hook up either an external BEC or even lighting systems, which I have done. There will be a model number on that up in the video description, so bear with that. As far as linkages, I went with the axial links. I thought those were pretty good for the time when I bought this, and they seem to have mounted up very well. The one thing that I noticed with the 4-link suspension is they do use 2 separate pieces to make it work, and you'll see there's a little joint where it goes up for that upper length on both sides. And the bottom ones are just the 1-piece links. There's a look at the rear hubs, the rear lockouts from Vanquish. That was part of the Stage 1 kit. Pretty happy with those. Those went straight on with no issues whatsoever. Very happy with those. And then these are the Tough Armor sidebars from RC4WD Drive as well. And we're going on to some repetitive parts, just front and rear. We got the Vanquish shock coops, Level 3 racing lift kit, and then the Proline scalar shocks once again. To mount up this RidgeLine bumper, I did have to purchase the Axial rear bumper mount, which was about 15 bucks, and included an Axial bumper, which I ended up not using. Only way to purchase that little piece there, unless you want to go to the aluminum version. And there is a separate video on this guy. This is probably my second most asked question, other than that E-tap. And the rear body mounts, I did have to get creative with some threaded rod 1/4 inch, zip tied the stock body mount right up there. So that looks like it. I think I've covered everything, hopefully, and hopefully you guys didn't get tired of hearing me talk. So I will be compiling over the next couple days all of the links and also the model numbers of everything so you guys can have it readily at hand. Hopefully this video has helped you out, and as always, if you like the video, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.